What the hell are you doing?
I'm killing you with my brain. Hey, what's going on, nerds? GM Magnum here with GM Throwback. Yeah, that. Today we are going to talk about a topic that is near and dear to almost no one's heart, which is psionics. A lot of DMs have trouble allowing players to play psions. It is a difficult class to play, but we're here with a few tips and tricks to help you out. So Thormac, what are some of your main concerns in allowing a scion into the campaign?
A lot of us, other DMs, are not able to deal with an idea of mental magic. And they get the idea that, oh, it's mental power. It's not affected by, like, magical resistances. Wrong. It actually is, in fact, affected by anti-magic fields. You can easily still work them in your campaigns, but most people just don't understand it.
That is one of the biggest issues that DMs have. Excuse me while I look down, I'm going through the Advanced Psionics Handbook right now. That is one of the biggest issues that a lot of DMs have with allowing a scion into their campaign. Is there's this block that, oh, well, it's something new, it's magical, but it's not, and it uses mind powers, which all of those fears can be put to bed. The easiest way to run, or the easiest way to allow someone as a DM to run a scion in your campaign is read up on the Psionics Handbook. If you guys have questions, shoot them to us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/ or search DiceBaggingGM. If you haven't liked the page, check it out, like us. We're awesome like that. But shoot us questions. We're more than happy. I love playing scions, as you've seen in some of our earlier videos where our editor has chosen to put things like gay for scions. Right. I do enjoy playing scions. I have found several ways to do great scion builds. Shoot us questions. We'll be more than happy to help you as players and DMs. Now, when you're DMing and you allow a scion into your campaign, first things first, you got to get into the Psionic Handbook. You got to read it. You got to check it out. You got to attempt to understand it. The easiest way to look at it is you have this character, and scions drawn off of points. So they have a point pool of...
It's like a mana pool. Think of it like old school RPGs.
Like a mana
fantasy.
pool. So they have this mana pool. Every ability they manifest, or spell they cast, has a power point equivalent. So if they have 30 power points, then they can use 30 power points worth of abilities, spells, manifest powers, however you choose to look at it. Manifest powers is just another way to say cast spell. So once they run out of power points, they're done for the day. They gotta rest, they gotta get their 8 hours of sleep, then they get them back, depending upon what race they choose to be. Now,
or they can hit stuff with like sticks.
Or they can hit stuff with sticks. Not the best option with most scions because they do tend to fall into the squishy category. The whole power manifesting and all that, just look at this casting spells. So once they run out of those power points, they're done. Hit stuff with sticks. As a DM, your easiest way to look at it is saying, okay, it's another magic user. Whether it's mental magic, whether it's creative, whatever kind of magic it is, a null magic field works. A dispel magic works. Anything that goes against a sorcerer or a wizard or a warlock or any other type of
War mage, cleric, paladin,
clerics, rage mages, not necessarily paladins and clerics,
yeah,
but
a little bit different.
Anything that would go against arcane magic applies towards scions.
Except for spellcraft, you're not going to really tell what they're doing,
right?
Because it lacks somatic or verbal components for the most part.
Right, they don't.
Happens.
They don't really have components. It just goes.
That's their strength.
However, knowledge. I would even do it a knowledge arcane check. Could tell you the same thing. You don't have to specify knowledge scion. Now, if you're running an all psionic campaign, shoot me a message. Would love to check out a video of it. I don't think it would work really well, to be honest. But
unless you fill it with psionic warriors.
Right. If you are running an all scion campaign, then obviously you would tailor more towards anti-psionic field. You would tailor it more towards anti-psion in general.
Alright, so
running Scions, having them in your game, easy. Hit up the Psionics Handbook, the expanded Psionics Handbook. Scions were extremely broken when they first arrived. With the original Psionics Handbook, there were a lot of things you could do, like stop time and put time on an endless loop. That's pretty much what turned people off to Scions. That doesn't exist anymore.
Then augmenting way up and beyond what you could naturally do.
Yeah, augments, we'll get to that here in a minute, but augmenting is one of the perks of being a Scion. Augment so much. And I believe it's half player level or something of that. So if you're level 8, you can only add 4 extra power points to the spell in order to augment it based upon the power description.
And those power points go a long way. Each point could be an extra die of damage.
Right. So
and you're blasting like, I don't know, like a 4d10 attack, and you can add even more d10s to it.
It does go a long way. But that's where the Scion is offset. Granted, as they do get higher level, they do get better power manifestations, and they do have more stuff open to them. But whereas a sorcerer, for example, with Magic Missile, it increases every so many levels. You get another D4, another missile, another target, or whatever the modifications are to that. In order to put a Scion on that same level with a sorcerer in terms of leveling, they implemented the augment system. It is a great system, but again, make sure you're watching that. I cheated once when I was running a Scion, and I ended up dropping what was like 54 D10s or something. Yeah, it was I had to have every D10 that we had from all the players in order to roll it, and then it took me 10 minutes to add up $3,000 worth of damage. No, it was like 500 and something. Anyway, it was ridiculous amounts, but
absurd is the word.
Absurd, yes.
And it rhymes.
I was still somewhat new to playing a Scion, and all I knew was, augment, add points. I completely forgot about the limitation to augmenting. If think of it like this, in a story setting, if a Scion were to actually spend that many power points, they would almost assuredly kill themselves. It ain't worth it, dude. So that's some of the basics on having a Scion in your campaign. Think of it as another sorcerer that uses mental magic instead of draconic. And, they gotta follow all the same rules. If there's a null magic field, if there's a null Scion field, if there's however you choose to run it, it's still a great thing to have, because Scions really do make things interesting. If they get hit, they're dead.
That's why Constitution.
Right.
That's why I really think Constitution.
You want to put a lot of points into inevitably what's going to help your power pool, your PowerPoint pool, whatever it is. And there is a lot of different things that you can look at. I mean, if you look at your races, if you look at your different classes, you do have the Soul Knife. I'm looking at them right now, actually. So, as a Scion, you've got, of course, the Scion. What are you doing, Cable? You hear my truck out there? It sounds good.
Yeah, I was gonna say something, but I didn't want to ruin the video.
I just redid my exhaust on my truck yesterday. It sounds awesome. So you have a Scion, which has become kind of a catch-all term for anything that does anything with psionics. So you've got your Scion, then you've got your Psychic Warrior. Scion has its own breakdown, so you've got Shapers, you've got Telekinesis, you've got stuff like that. Then you have your Psychic Warrior, which is a mix between a Scion and a fighter. They can use a lot of weaponry, but they more use their psionic abilities to enhance their martial combat or their melee skills. Then you have the Soul Knife, which is kind of a cross between a Scion and a Rogue.
They call it a ninja and other things, but
yeah, they're my thing about Soul Knives is
they're dicks.
They're a-holes. Then you have the Wilder, which is basically a crazy hippie in the woods who likes to use mental magic. So there are a lot of different
stuff that I'm gonna edit in. They're gonna say dumb.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Cut that part out now.
No, you're not. It's gonna be funny.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Then you gotta, then you got your skills breakdown. You got your ability points. Blah 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 blah. Read the book. I'm sick and tired of people flaming Scions and saying Scions are garbage. Scions suck. Scions can't do anything. I will roll up a Scion that will take on any character any of you want to roll, and I will spank you. I will. And speaking of which, that brings me to my next topic. At Atlantis Comics and Games in the Norfolk area, Dice Bagging GM is looking at putting on a tournament of sorts. It's looking like it'll be probably level 12. Roll a character, roll with what you brought. We're going to have rules and literature coming out as soon as we talk to Atlantis about this, because they don't really know yet. It is what it is.
Are we doing the one way out on First View? Or?
Yeah, First View.
Yeah, I don't want to go to Portsmouth.
No, I don't.
I want to pay toll. That's
Who wants to go to Portsmouth? So check it out for those of you in the Norfolk area.
I want to get shot.
It's going to be quite the event. Atlantis, if you haven't been there yet, it's a great store. They have a lot of really open gaming area. But we're going to do a one-on-one double elimination, duke it out, knock them out, level 12s, arena style combat.
No frenzied berserkers.
Right, that is one of the rules, is that frenzied berserkers are not permitted. Stay tuned to the Dice Bagging GM page, and we will definitely get you guys all the information. And we would love to see even some out-of-staters come in if you got time. It won't be till probably mid to late January, but it's going to be a really good time. Skipping on back to that tangent and coming back around to Scions, playing a Scion, stay in the back.
You're the smartest dude out there, and you know damn well get behind the barbarians, get behind the fighters, or even the freaking plate-wearing clerics. Get behind them.
Even if you were playing the Psychic Warrior, so say turns are initiated, you're playing a Psychic Warrior. You somehow beat the initiative roll. You're up first. Ready an action or manifest an ability that will help you out in the next round. Don't go in swinging. You will die. For example, let me just look up the Psychic Warrior here. I like pictures because that tells me where I am. So for the Psychic Warrior, other classes, your hit die is still only a D8. To some, that's a lot. Like me, who play squishies. But when you're looking at fighters and barbarians who are running D10s and D12s, a D8's nothing. Okay? So as a Psychic Warrior, you want to stick in the back. You want to wait until you can gain some form of a combat advantage. This is, flanking. If you can wait till the barbarian runs in, wait till your tank runs in, let them start beating on the bad guy, and then come in from the side, get your flanking bonuses, and put a hurting on him. Okay? You don't want to be the first one in combat because you're going to die. Dependent upon if your DM runs a threat level game or not. If they're running threat, you might live. If they're running, you hit me first, now I hit you till you die, you're gonna die. Plain and simple.
I'm all about that D12 life. Hit points are good.
That could be one of our new t-shirts.
About that D12 life?
Yeah, I like that. Speaking of which, Dice Bagging GM will be offering t-shirts here in the coming new year. Support your local nerdism. Buy them.
Very limited quantities.
Very limited quantities. This is going to be like the special edition of the special edition of the Nerd World. Also, they will probably be available at Atlantis Comics and Games once we talk to them or something out. But anyway, so playing a Scion, read the rule book, know the rules, and help your DM. Can't say that enough. Help your DM. DMs are not perfect. I've been playing this game a long time. There are DMs out there who've been playing a lot longer than me. Not all of them really care to read about Scions, but if they allow you to play them, help them out. Look up the information, and remember, DM has final say. If a DM says, no, that's not going to happen in my world today, that means no, it's not going to happen. And, just stay in the back, please. For Scions everywhere, stay in the back. Anything to add, throw Matt?
No.
I figured as much. Coming up in our next video, where we're probably going to be wearing the same clothing, because we're doing a lot of videos at once today before a game session. The wonderful, wonderful people over at WizDice, who might end up sponsoring us. WizDice, contact us. We can talk. I'm all about them dice.
I talk to him every day.
Well,
Get on my level, bro.
I know, right? What kind of garbage is that? You never say, hey, talk to my boy Magdum. over
I
here,
have
you
said it
know?
all the time, and you were like, "I'm gonna play with my truck."
Dude, okay, look, man, it doesn't always run, so I got to work on all that. All right, but you know, I would actually like to enter talks with Wiz Dice and roll their dice exclusively and do a little sponsored by Wiz Dice at the start of each video. So Wiz Dice, if you're watching this, which I hope you are, hit us up, let us know. So now we're just gonna stop this and we're gonna move into the next video, which is gonna be all about Storytime Dice. I'm actually really excited for this. So this is the quick plug, and then like I said, we're gonna do the next video. Not sure about the timeline release of these videos. We might drop one here in the next 2 to 3 days. So when you get the one that you're watching now, which I assume is gonna be the first one, just remember it's probably like 3 days old. So
It takes you a while to edit.
for what it's worth, But our next one after that will be Storytime Dice. You're gonna notice again we're wearing the same clothes. Just shut it. There's really awesome stuff. So we're gonna stop the video. We're gonna start the video, and we're gonna go into Storytime Dice. And also make sure you guys keep them dice rolling.